You're calling from an 814 area code. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Michael. This is Greg from the Great Northwest up here in northwestern Pennsylvania.
How's it going?
What you've been talking about all through the election about an economic message is just this rings rife through this area. These voters are so fluid in the Rust Belt. They really are. They've gone the way of Obama, and now we see them flip to Trump. Mm-hmm. And I think you're dead on with the determining factor in this one has been just the racism.
Yeah.
I've lived here most of my adult life, but luckily I was not dependent on anything in the industry to make my living. Right. Actually, my living was made in the mental health field. But I've talked to many friends throughout this community, mainly blue collar, and the predominant attitude is that they feel that they've been busting their asses through all of it.
Right.
And there's always someone else getting benefits.
Yep.
It's incredible. And if you're able to, we saw it. It was taken from African American focus during the Reagan administration,
yep.
and then forward into the Bush administration. Now it's on immigrants. It's the same
yep.
playbook. They've been running it for 35 years.
And you know what's fascinating?
Voters who are so fluid, and you're right, the Democrats, the left, have to find some way of hammering that economic message home.
And you know what's fascinating is that the first iteration, like Bill Clinton's first campaign, and I'm saying we need the opposite. Like, we need to maintain through the fire a complete commitment to social progress, racial justice, period, no compromise, no inch. What's weird is that the version of neoliberalism we have now turned into social liberalism, economic conservatism. When Bill Clinton first ran for president, it actually was the opposite. He actually ran on economic populism, but throwing a lot of bones on racial issues. And what was interesting was part of that research was Stan Greenberg went to Macomb County with the mythic Reagan Democrat. And what he found in his research that always stuck out to me was that those people were like, we know we're getting screwed over by corporations and the rich, but we also are racist. And we also have fantasy stories about black people. And what we realized with Reagan is that he's not going to protect us from corporations, but he will punish people of color,
right.
Whereas Democrats are not going to protect us from corporations, and they are going to supposedly give our resources to people of color. And it's that same dynamic.
Right, and in this election, this election appeared to be the Democrats believing that having the strategic moral high ground was going to be able to outmaneuver the tactics of the Republican Party,
and it
just didn't work. Yeah. The election was fought at a tactical level, not at a moral high ground strategic level.
I agree.
And these voters are so just susceptible to this economic argument that you couple that with the racism, as you explained, and it really does just demonstrate why Trump won. I mean, it was really amazing that I would go to a party and find one of the people that were, I'd talk to somebody who believed that Western civilization was about to crumble, and
it is,
they were,
ironically,
and that it was everything great in the world was because of Western civilization. And you would talk to them a little bit further, and they were on Social Security. They had a union pension from GE, and they were just so unhappy. And it was I'd ask, why are you so unhappy? And it was the racial animus, that made them totally miserable, and I don't understand it.
And that's really the part that cannot be accommodated or explained away. And that's the edge of people in my zone, because I'm telling them that a big part of this is just it's toxic, it's dangerous, and it purely needs to be defeated by a new, better America. And at the same time, there needs to be the economics. But I appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate the time.
All right.
Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Over Subscribe.